Hey guys, welcome to the 12 Days of Caketastrophe. So this is just a short series for this Christmas, the 12 Days of Christmas. I've decided to do 12 stories, one every single day of the 12 Days of Christmas, so that you can hear about all my disasters in the kitchen in the past. Well, not all of them, because there's plenty to share. So if you've enjoyed it, there is more. So if you don't know, this is one of the few stories I've already done. The first video I'll link down below so you can go back and see the very start of this series. Check out all of them because some are much worse than the others, but they are all terrible. And today we are going to be talking about the very sad story of the cream cheese. The very sad story of the fudge brownie. It was on a day where everything seemed perfect and I was like, let's bake a fudge brownie because I love brownies and I love them fudgy. So I decided to bake one. So what happened was I was still new to baking, so I was messy in the kitchen. So I basically walked into my kitchen. It was big, it was a big ass kitchen. And then I whipped out all my ingredients, but also left a lot of stuff all around. So I pretty much used up every single space of my big ass kitchen. And then when I was baking this brownie, I was like, this is great, this is gonna be awesome, this smells delicious. I put it in the oven that I preheated, and it came out. It looked delicious, it smelled delicious, it looked, well, it was the brownie, so it looked like a brownie. Anyway, back to normal. So yes, the brownie came out, that was the general gist of it. The brownie was ready to go, and at that time, I remember specifically mostly having done cakes only. And the thing about cakes is, most cake recipes require you to basically flip something out onto a wire rack and then allow it to cool fully by itself. It was the best way for it to cool completely because sometimes leaving it in the pan will cook it a bit more, etc, etc. Although some recipes, I guess it's fine to just leave it in the pan as long as it's sitting on a wire rack, so it's not really like keeping in the heat. Anyway, I thought it was the exact same idea with fudge brownies, ignoring the fact that the word fudge is in it, which basically means it's like still a bit molten on the inside. There's like areas that are not completely set. And I thought it would have been a great idea to flip it out, like, because it's kind of like a cake, right? Silly me did not understand that this was about to induce a very, very big catastrophe. And you know what was the worst part? Like I said, I took up all the space in the kitchen. So there was really no space left, apart from the stove. So I decided that I would just, it's a great idea. I just flip it over onto a wire rack over the stove top. And I was like, basically did a flip and then held my hands under like that. And I just felt this like surge of warmth like trickling through my hand. I was just like, oh, ow, what's this? And I looked down and chocolate fudge brownie literally crumbling through the wire rack's holes everywhere. Molten bits, crumb bits, everything fell into, like right into one of the stoves. It was the worst. I was for a few minutes actually like just still in shock and did not know how to react to the situation because I could already just like imagine how difficult this was going to be to clean up. And to be frank, I don't have enough kitchen experience to even understand how I would go about cleaning this because it went all the way in through like the grills and like inside because like the stove design for ours was a stove top where you basically, things get inside. And yeah, so I tried cleaning it up, wiping it up. I didn't want to tell anyone just yet until I guess they find out because it was really quite embarrassing and it was just something I didn't know how to explain. Like, how do you walk up to someone in the family and just be like, oh yeah, by the way, when you cook something, just to let you know, I dropped like a whole fudge brownie in there. And I salvaged some parts of it, like some parts of the fudge brownie actually stayed in the tray or like on the wire rack, and it was so good, but it made me so sad because, well, the amount of parts of the brownie that couldn't eat because the majority had fallen into its sad demise. So people did find out in the end why, because it's a stovetop and generally everyone uses it, and for the next at least 1 week or so, people who were cooking on the stove, even just to heat up some water and that kind of stuff, would be like, what's that smell? Like, yeah, okay, I might have like had some brownie by dropping it in there. So yeah, people found out that there's basically brownie pieces or batter that have like just dripped all the way down the inside of the grill of the stove, and I didn't know how to clean that up, and also it was probably still hot at the time, so I just left it in there. And so there were probably chunks of like brownies that just basically charcoaled every time someone switched on the stove. Might still be there to this day. I don't know if you can really ever clean that out properly, unless you guys are really willing to stick it in there. Yeah, I don't really know how it works. But yeah, that was how the fudge brownie ended. It was some sad day. So yeah, if you're someone who's looking at making a fudge brownie and you have never made one before, just remember, it's okay to leave it in the tin. Just let it sit in the tin on a wire rack. Don't flip it out. If you're gonna flip it out, wait till it's completely set, and definitely do it over some sort of firm surface that's easy to wipe down, i.e. not a stovetop. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, definitely don't forget to click the like and subscribe button and the notification bell, and leave any of your scary stories that have happened in the kitchen right down below. I want to read them all. Alright, see you guys in the next one.